Like, just imagine watching the man you have mentally planned a winter holiday with build a literal physical wall out of cream cheese and lox.
A structural masterpiece of carbohydrates.
Right. Just to avoid sharing a single, solitary bite of a bagel with you. Babes, welcome back. We love you. We see you. And honestly, if our dating lives were judged by the Love Island producers, we'd probably be dumped before the first recoupling.
Oh, we wouldn't even make it past the airport. Welcome back to the Snark Squad, everyone. I am already emotionally exhausted, but thankfully I have our signature cocktail on deck tonight.
Oh, thank God. What are we drinking, doctor?
I have mixed up a massive, aggressively strong pitcher of strawberry mojitos.
No coffee.
Because, let's be entirely honest, surviving another day of our actual real-world jobs, followed by whatever that chaotic nightmare was inside the villa tonight, well, it desperately requires something sweet.
And mildly intoxicating.
Exactly. Cheers, bestie. We survived.
Cheers, gorgeous. We did survive. Barely. But before we spiral completely out of control into the villa drama, we have to do our daily debrief.
Yes, the daily debrief.
Snark Squad, you know the drill. It is time for the highs and lows of the workday dental clinic edition.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, your two favorite chaotic besties spend our days in scrubs wielding high-speed drills before we put on our metaphorical reality TV judge robes.
So glamorous.
You go first. Tell me you had a better day than I did, because my patience is currently thinner than dental floss.
Well, let's start with the high, because it genuinely revived my spirit. My high today was courtesy of my favorite hygienist, who absolutely roasted a patient's previous dental work and, indirectly their life choices.
Wait, what did they have?
Okay, so the patient came in with this atrociously bulky, blindingly white crown on tooth number 19.
Oh, no. Like piano key white.
Yes, just a massive, ill-fitting block of opaque porcelain that looked like it was ordered off a discount website. And my coworker just looks at the chart, looks at the tooth, looks back at the patient, and deadpan says, "Oh, I see you opted for the chiclet special."
Stop it.
She literally asked, "Did that come with a free prize inside the cereal box?" I had to step out of the operatory because my shoulders were shaking so hard from laughing.
Oh my God, that is savage and completely accurate. It is a literal crime, what some people do to molars. And honestly, bad dental margins are the exact same thing as a bad relationship.
Wait, explain.
Like, it might look bright and shiny from 10 feet away, but underneath, bacteria is leaking in, the foundation is completely rotting, and eventually the whole thing is just going to collapse in on itself.
That is a terrifyingly accurate metaphor, and we will definitely be applying that to Micah and Samraj later.
Oh, absolutely. But what was the low?
Oh, the low was a frantic emergency root canal right before lunch on a very, very anxious patient who had basically let this infection fester since the Bush administration.
Oh no, the smell.
The smell, the panic, the sheer amount of local anesthetic I had to use just to get him to a baseline level of calm. I was sweating through my scrubs. It was harrowing.
I can literally picture it.
We were doing profound nerve blocks, and it still wasn't enough. It's wild how long people will ignore the pain just to avoid dealing with the root of the problem. What about you?
Okay, my high is actually hilarious and ties perfectly into our theme of emotional unavailability. So I was doing a standard multi-surface filling, right?
Yeah.
And I've given the patient an inferior alveolar nerve block, so their entire lower jaw, their lip, half their tongue, completely functionally paralyzed and numb.
Classic.
And this guy, bless his heart, he was maybe 25, is trying to aggressively flirt with me while half his face is melting off.
Stop it right now, while actively numb.
Yes. I was holding a drill. I was actively removing decay from his premolar. He's looking up at me with these big puppy dog eyes drooling slightly out of the corner of his mouth. And he goes, slurring heavily, "So, are you shingle?"
Are you shingle? I'm dead. What did you say?
I just patted him on the shoulder and said, "Let's focus on keeping our Tom away from the high-speed burr right now, okay, buddy? We can discuss my romantic availability after the composite is cured."
That is incredible.
It really reminded me why I love dentistry. Like, you see people at their absolute most vulnerable, their most uninhibited, and sometimes they're most desperately delusional.
Delusion truly is the operating frequency of the human race.
Yeah.
So what was the low? Let me guess. A scheduling nightmare.
Exactly. A completely chaotic double booking at exactly 4:55 p.m. The clinic technically closes at 5:00.
Oh, the absolute worst.
I had a teenager with a broken orthodontic bracket slicing into their cheek on one side and a walk-in with a fractured incisor on the other. I was staring at the clock, just praying for strength and wondering why nobody understands time management.
It's because they don't respect boundaries, babe.
Exactly. But you know what? Even on our worst, most chaotic days at the clinic with festering infections and numb flirtations, we still have vastly better communication protocols than literally anyone inside that villa right now.
Isn't that the sad truth? Like, we can communicate complex multi-step post-operative care to a patient who is floating on laughing gas better than these islanders can communicate a simple one-sentence thought.
Seriously, like just say, I am no longer romantically interested in you. It's not hard. Which actually brings me to a hypothetical I've been spiraling over all day.
Oh, God, lay it on me.
Babes, imagine it. Imagine we didn't go to dental school. Imagine we didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on medical degrees. Imagine we walked into that Majorca villa on day one as the bombshells.
Oh, sweet. Unadulterated chaos. First of all, we have to discuss the entrance outfits.
Obviously.
Because the sociology of a bombshell entrance is fascinating. You are communicating your entire threat level to the established hierarchy in about 10 seconds of screen time.
Yeah.
How are you asserting dominance?
I am walking in wearing something completely delusional and wildly inappropriate for the Spanish heat. I'm thinking floor-length iridescent sequins.
Floor length in Majorca.
Oh, totally. Feathers at the hem, just an aggressive, blinding amount of body shimmer on every exposed inch of skin. I want to look like a disco ball that got into a physical altercation with a flamingo and won.
You would be sweating so much.
I don't care. I want the boys to be physically blinded when those heavy wooden villa doors open. I want the girls to immediately feel underdressed. What about you?
See, I'm going the exact opposite route. I am going full, intimidating rich widow energy.
Oh, I love that.
A sleek, black, backless silk slip dress.
Right.
No sequins, no feathers. A dark, vampy, almost terrifying lip color. And I'm looking at these 21-year-old boys like they are absolute peasants who have somehow wandered onto my private estate.
They would be terrified of you. What's your opening line?
It wouldn't even be a pickup line. I'd just slowly lower my sunglasses, scan the fire pit, and say, which one of you knows how to load a dishwasher properly?
Oh my God, you would trigger their fight or flight response immediately.
Exactly. Weed out the weak ones.
They wouldn't know what to do. They'd be stammering about how their mom usually does the dishes. My opening one-liner would be painfully, endearingly awkward.
Let's hear it.
I'd try to do a sexy walk. I'd probably trip on a cobblestone, catch myself on a neon sign that says something stupid like catch feels, and blurt out something hyper-specific like, so, do you guys have strong opinions on flossing?
Strong opinions on flossing. Babe, the producers would manually escort you off the premises.
I know.
You would be dumped on day 2.
Oh, I would be an absolute flop. But before I got dumped, who are you immediately pulling for a chat? You've got your rich widow dress on. You've established dominance. Who is your target?
Oh, Lorenzo. 100% Lorenzo.
Wait, really? Lorenzo?
Let me be clear. Not because I'm into him romantically. I am absolutely not. He is a walking red flag waving in a hurricane.
Oh.
I am pulling him purely as a sociological experiment.
To do what?
To see if I can teach a 28-year-old man how to pronounce a simple 2-syllable name. We are going to sit at the fire pit. I'm going to pour sparkling water, and we're going to sound out vowels until he gets it right.
Oh, poor Ulia.
Right. I'll be like, it's Uli. Ulia. Say it with me. Look at my mouth.
He would be sweating profusely. He would revert to his defense mechanisms immediately. He would just be like, haha, yeah, just a bit of banter, right, Julia? Hard J.
He's incapable of learning.
Yeah.
Who would you pull?
Honestly, I don't even know. I'd probably pull Simba, not to flirt, but just so we could sit on the beanbags by the pool, share a bowl of grapes, and judge everyone else in total comfortable silence.
Simba is the only safe option. But let's vote right now. Between the two of us, who is accidentally creating the most structural damage to the villa's ecosystem?
Like, who is creating the most chaos?
Me. Obviously me. Because my blunt sarcasm translates terribly to people who have the emotional depth of a rain puddle.
That is so true. They wouldn't get it at all.
I would make one dry observational comment about someone's outfit, or point out that a certain couple has literally nothing in common besides tanning oil, and suddenly there would be screaming.
Oh, 3 emergency fire pit meetings, minimum.
Crying in the dressing room, a producer's intervention. I would dismantle them.
You would make a joke about how none of them have read a book in a decade, and they would spiral for 3 to 5 business days.
I would be a menace. But on the flip side, who is crying first?
Oh, that's me, bestie. Without question.
You would cry on night 1 because the moon looked too beautiful reflecting off the infinity pool, and no one wanted to sit in silence and appreciate the lunar cycle with you.
I feel incredibly seen and incredibly attacked right now because that is factually accurate. I would fall in love with the moon.
And then you'd fall for the first guy who remembered your coffee order.
Yes. And then I would be emotionally devastated and require therapy when his head turned for a bombshell 48 hours later, which is exactly why neither of us would survive Casa Amor.
Survive it. We wouldn't even participate. For the Snark Squad members who might be new, Casa Amor is the mid-season twist where they separate the villas and throw in a half-dozen new, aggressively attractive people.
A psychological pressure cooker?
Designed to destroy relationships. The new boys would come in, trying to graft, and you and I would just set up a permanent encampment at the snack table.
Just aggressively eating crisps.
Pointing at the messy drama, refusing to make eye contact.
Sorry, I can't talk right now. My mouth is full of prawn cocktail crisps. Come back when you have a personality. But listening to these islanders talk about what they want on the outside, it really made me think about what we actually look for.
Because their criteria is absurd.
So surface level. So Snark Squad, grab your notebooks because we are laying down the law. What are your top 5 biggest green flags, bestie? The real stuff.
Okay, my green flags. Number 1, they can communicate without ghosting. It sounds basic, but it's rare. If you need space, use your big boy words. Do not just disappear into the ether.
So true.
Number 2, they have actual physical, tangible hobbies outside of social media. Like, do you build birdhouses? Do you hike? Do you aggressively collect vintage postage stamps?
I love a stamp collector. So niche.
It shows they can sustain interest in something that doesn't provide instant dopamine, you know? Number 3, genuine self-awareness. Deliver a clean apology without adding a but at the end of it.
No, I'm sorry you felt that way. Loud.
Exactly. Number 4, good dental hygiene. This goes without saying, but if you do not floss, we are not speaking. I will judge your character based on your marginal Geneva.
Okay, wait, I have to push back on that one just a tiny bit. Is bleeding gums really a reflection of character or just a lack of proper education in their formative years? Like, we can fix gums.
Well, we can't fix a terrible personality.
Exactly.
I argue that taking care of the unseen parts, like interdental spaces, reflects a broader discipline. If you can't take 45 seconds to pull a string between your teeth, how are you going to put in the grueling work required to maintain a long-term partnership?
Okay, when you put it like that, you've convinced me. Bleeding gums is a metaphor for unseen rot. What's number 5?
Number 5, very specific to tonight's episode. They do not ever, under any circumstances, use the phrase pounce on me to describe their partner's physical affection. No.
Ugh, we are going to tear into that comment later. My green flags are a little softer, I think. Number 1, emotional maturity. Can you hold space for my big feelings without shutting down or trying to fix it with logic?
Men love to fix things with logic.
Right. Just let me vent. Number 2, consistency. Don't be absolutely obsessed with me on Monday and then indifferent and cold on Wednesday. That hot and cold dynamic destroys the nervous system.
It's exhausting.
Number 3, kindness to strangers. How do you treat the barista, the waiter, the person who accidentally bumps into you?
The waiter test is undefeated.
It is.
Yeah.
If you are sweet to me but rude to the Uber driver, you are a bad person acting nice, not a nice person. Number 4, making me laugh, like deep, ugly, silent belly laughs.
The ones where you can't breathe.
Exactly. And number 5, not being afraid of commitment. If you hear the word future and you don't instantly break out into hives, you are already ahead of 90% of the men in that villa.
The bar is literally in hell.
It is. But of all those flags, which do you think matters the most?
Honestly, the communication. Because if you have that, you can work through almost everything else. You can communicate your way through a conflict. But these islanders, they think communication is asking, where's your head at? 50 times a day without actually listening.
It's so bleak, which is exactly why I prefer to live in my delusions. It's time for Delusion of the Day.
Oh, I'm ready.
Snark Squad. This is where we confess one completely unrealistic, cinematic, romantic fantasy that we absolutely refuse to let go of. I'll go first.
Lay the fantasy on me. Set the scene.
It is late October. It is pouring rain in London. I am in a charming, slightly dusty, independent bookstore in a historic neighborhood. I reach up to the top shelf for a rare first edition copy of a beautiful classic novel.
Let me guess, a Bronte sister.
Obviously. Suddenly, a hand brushes mine. I look up, He's wearing a thick cream-colored cable knit sweater. He has perfect intentional stubble, and he smells like cedar wood and expensive espresso.
This is so specific.
He insists I take the book. He magically pays for my coffee at the artisanal cafe next door, and we spend 6 hours talking about philosophy and art while the rain patters against the glass.
You have storyboarded this. You've done the location scouting. You've picked the wardrobe.
I really have. I have a Pinterest board for this exact scenario.
Yeah.
What's your delusion? Because I know you have one hidden beneath all that sarcasm.
Mine is a bit more glamorous.
Yeah.
And notably involves much less talking.
Yeah.
I am on a red-eye from New York to Milan. I get magically upgraded to first class due to a ticketing error in my favor.
Naturally.
I sit down, adjust my noise-canceling headphones, and the person sitting next to me is a wealthy, emotionally available supermodel, or maybe a brooding architect who absolutely hates small talk.
Hates small talk. Perfect.
He just nods respectfully, hands me a glass of vintage champagne, goes back to reading a physical copy of The Economist, and we fall deeply in love purely through mutual, silent respect and excellent bone structure.
A silent romance at 30,000 feet. Pure aesthetic appreciation. I love that for you. But babes, enough about our own romantic delusions. Let's head back into the Love Island villa.
Where everyone has known each other for precisely 5 minutes.
And somehow they're already planning forever. Or, in Aiden's specific case, desperately planning his escape route without looking like the bad guy.
Let's unpack the absolute carnage of episode 51. We have to start with the morning sequence, the breakfast of champions, or, as I like to call it, the breakfast of absolute delusion.
Let me set the scene for the Snark Squad. The girls, Micah, Julia, and Jasmine, wake up early. Full matching black lingerie sets, full glam, and they make a massive, beautiful breakfast spread for their partners.
They are actively flipping pancakes, frying bacon perfectly.
It was a really cute, wholesome moment, and the boys are loving it being served. And then the contrast.
The sheer Oscar-worthy contrast of the camera aggressively panning over to Aiden.
The bagel incident.
The bagel incident will go down in reality TV history. Aiden is standing at the island counter, isolated. He is making a single, solitary bagel. He has carefully, methodically applied the cream cheese,
Delicately layering the smoked salmon.
crafting this masterpiece with the precision of a surgeon for himself, and only himself.
And here comes Priya. Poor, hopeful Priya. She walks up, sees her man making a delicious bagel, sees all the other girls literally hand-feeding their men, and she assumes he's making it for them to share.
The entitlement of a Love Island man is a masterclass in audacity. She playfully asks, "Oh, we're going to share that?"
And you can literally see the annoyance flash in his eyes. He sighs and goes, well, yeah, now that you're here. Because I didn't get a chance to start eating it.
I shrieked.
I yelled at my television screen. I woke up my dog. What do you mean now that you're here? You share a bed with this woman. You were swapping saliva 12 hours ago.
How are you acting like she is a random coworker asking for a bite of your lunch in the break room?
Exactly. But, okay, analyze the bagel diplomacy for me. What is happening in his brain?
This wasn't about food. This was a textbook, undeniable display of avoidant attachment triggered by sudden intimacy. This was post-nut clarity manifesting in the physical realm.
Unpack that. Explain the mechanics.
Think about the timeline. The night before, Priya initiated intimacy. Under the cover of night, Aiden is fine with that. His nervous system isn't threatened because it's purely physical.
Right, he's a 23-year-old guy.
But then the sun comes up. The emotional weight of what that intimacy implies to Priya sets in. His avoidant triggers fire. He feels a sudden wave of guilt mixed with suffocation, and his immediate reaction is a deactivating strategy.
So he builds a wall.
That single bagel was a physical manifestation of his boundaries slamming back up. He was building a literal wall out of cream cheese and lox to keep her out.
That is so incredibly bleak, but it makes so much sense. But Priya goes back to the daybeds, and she is frustrated, and I have to defend her.
Go for it.
The other girls are telling her to let it go, but it's the thought that counts. If you are making food and the person you just shared a bed with is walking toward you, you offer them some. It's basic human decency.
You are absolutely right. But you are expecting basic human decency from a man who views women as stepping stones to a $50K cash prize. Which brings us perfectly to the Murphy brothers' betrayal.
Oh, this was painful. So Aiden is complaining to his brother, Kavan, at the fire pit. Kavan is 21, an electrician, and somehow the only grounded one.
And their little sidekick, Samraj, is there too.
Yeah, and Aiden is desperately trying to engineer an excuse to dump Priya that doesn't make him look like a villain. And the excuse he comes up with...
Truly one for the history books.
Yeah.
He says he can't have deep chats with Priya because she always pounces on him in bed.
I had to pause the show. I had to walk a lap around my living room. She pounces on me. The sheer audacity.
The word pounce implies a predatory nature. It invokes imagery of a helpless little gazelle being hunted by an aggressive lioness, which is highly manipulative.
He is weaponizing therapy space.
Yes, he is taking her genuine affection and twisting it to paint himself as the victim of her overbearing desires.
And let's look at the receipts. Aiden has never denied a kiss. He asks incoming bombshells for kisses on the first date as a joke. He is a walking pair of lips.
Exactly.
And now he's this deep philosopher who just wants to discuss the socioeconomic climate, but his hypersexual partner keeps distracting him. It's absurd.
It is classic gaslighting. He wants to mask the simple fact that he just doesn't like her personality. He's making it her fault.
If he wanted to talk, he could easily sit up in bed and say, hey, let's just chat tonight. But he happily takes the physical intimacy and then uses it against her the next day to justify dumping her to the boys.
Gross, covert narcissism.
Yeah. Yes.
But here's where the dynamic gets interesting. Kevin is listening, and he drops a massive truth bomb.
He cuts through the BS.
Kevin basically says, mate, it's not going to work. You're both too much alike. You both have massive egos. You both need constant validation, and it's just not there.
But wait, do you think Kavan is looking out for his brother, or is he being terrifyingly strategic?
Oh, he is playing three-dimensional chess. Let's apply basic game theory here. The finale is days away. The Murphy brothers are competing for the exact same demographic of voters.
The cheeky Irish lad's constituency.
Exactly. It's the spoiler effect. If Aiden and Priya make it to the finale alongside Kevin and Jasmine, they split the Murphy family vote right down the middle.
My jaw is on the floor.
If Kevin can convince Aiden to dump Priya, Aiden ruins his own image. The public turns on Aiden. Aiden gets voted out, leaving Kevin and Jasmine to consolidate the entire family fan base and take the $50K.
So it's a corporate hostile takeover.
He handed him a lead anchor. He gives Aiden the exact ammunition to end it, gets to look like the honest younger brother, while Aiden takes the fall as the villain.
I'm gonna push back slightly here. Do you really think a 21-year-old electrician is orchestrating a hostile takeover? Isn't he just a blunt guy tired of hearing his brother complain?
Do not underestimate a Gen Z reality TV contestant. They study the show like it's the SATs. He knows what he's doing.
If you are right, that is chilling. And it makes me even more emotionally devastated for Priya, because while they plot her downfall, she and Aiden get a text for a romantic date.
The world's cheapest date.
They blew their budget on Boots beauty products. They walked out to the dry, yellow, dead grass field behind the pool. A tiny canvas tent.
Heavily giving Fire Festival VIP tent energy.
Sad, wilting flowers, plastic jug of warm sangria. And Priya asks him a very direct question. Does he think his emotional connection was stronger with his ex, Jasmine?
And this absolute fool starts his sentence with, obviously yes.
I physically winced. Obviously yes.
You do not ever say obviously yes to that question on a date. You lie. You graciously pivot.
You didn't even try. But the true delusion was Priya's conversation with Jasmine immediately after the date. She is so desperate to hold on to this connection.
Oh, this hurt my soul.
She sits down with Jasmine and she literally calls her her sister-in-law.
A full-body cringe washed over my being.
She starts talking about how amazing the Murphy family Christmas is going to be. Babes, it's July. You are in a bikini, Aiden can barely share a bagel, and you are trying to coordinate matching Christmas sweaters in Kent.
She is a textbook people pleaser who latches onto the idea of a relationship. She sees the marketability of the Murphy Brothers brand, and she wants to be part of it.
She is living in her Pinterest board, and it all comes crashing down on the daybeds. Aiden pulls her for a chat.
Oh, the sheer cowardice. Let's dissect how a weak man breaks up with a woman.
He tries to string it along. He uses the most passive language. He says, I really like how things are, but I'm just sad there's no deeper connection yet. I'm just confused why my feelings aren't growing.
He wants her to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
He wants her to get so frustrated that she dumps him so he can tell the boys she's crazy.
It's so emotionally stunted. You act distant until she snaps and then label her overly emotional. And they leave it totally unresolved because Jasmine gets a text.
Islanders, get those award-winning speeches ready because tonight is the Grafties.
Yes, the producer's absolute favorite, most lethal weapon. An award show where they force the Islanders to watch each other's messiest unaired clips on a massive screen.
It was a bloodbath. Aiden swept the board, not in a good way. He won flirtiest performance and raunchiest moment.
They showed the clip of Aiden swooning over Jasmine's sister, Bella, saying she has insane aura and admitting he would have pulled her for a chat and kissed her.
And you watch Priya's face. The humiliation is radiating through the screen. She realizes that while she was planning a wholesome Christmas, her man was planning to hit on the sister-in-law's sister.
It's sickening. And what makes it 10 times worse is Jasmine's lack of reaction. Jasmine's supposed to be Priya's close friend. Jasmine hid it.
Jasmine downplayed it because Jasmine is playing a massive game. She doesn't want Aiden hitting on her sister on the outside, so she placates Priya and keeps Aiden locked down.
That is terrible friend behavior. But then we have Lorenzo and Julia. The Grafties showed Lorenzo aggressively flirting with Alicia.
And Julia does not shrink.
No. She holds him accountable right there. And this is where I swooned. He actually apologizes, he admits it was stupid, takes accountability, and says his feelings for Julia have grown.
Sigh. Yes, Danielle. He cleared the absolute lowest bar in human history. Congratulations, Lorenzo. Here's your gold star.
But he did it.
Let's point out a highly symbolic detail. He is delivering this supposedly heartfelt apology to a woman whose name he still cannot pronounce.
Okay, that is bad. He keeps calling her Julia with a hard J.
It's Ulia. U-L-I-A. The J is silent. It encapsulates their entire relationship. It looks great on the surface, but fundamentally, he isn't paying attention to who she actually is.
You are so cynical, but you're probably right. Then we had Micah twerking on Aiden in a challenge, and Samraj watching in the audience.
Samraj was trying to play it cool, but you could see the vein pulsing in his forehead. He is secretly furious.
He is a pressure cooker waiting to explode. That clip is going to fester. But the true climax was the plot twist award.
The producers were beautifully messy here. They showed Julia saying Priya and Aiden are a fake couple.
The Islander's trying to come for Julia, but she stands on business. She refuses to apologize and says, I was right then and I'm right today. Praise Julia.
She is the only one operating in reality, and the producers vindicated her immediately.
Yes. They play the clip of Kavan and Jasmine privately agreeing that Priya and Aiden are completely fake. Priya watches her supposed best friend laugh at her relationship behind her back.
It was brutal, compelling television.
It was carnage. But amidst the screaming, I have to point out the background comedians. Simba and Angelista.
Sitting quietly, sipping drinks, watching the villa burn with mild amusement.
They survive because they mind their business. All right, let's unpack this in our formal segments. Segment 1, couple power rankings. Rank the final 6 based on chemistry, trust, communication, and potential. You start.
My number 1, without hesitation, is Angelista and Simba.
I am aggressively pushing back on this. Really, the people who haven't spoken more than 10 words on camera.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are the only couple not involved in a massive deception or screaming match. They observe the drama and stay out of the firing line. They are a solid unit.
I reject your premise entirely. You are confusing cowardice with peace. We don't even know if they have chemistry because they never talk.
Conflict avoidance in that environment is a survival strategy. It's a trauma bond that will translate perfectly to the real world.
Fine. Number 2, Jasmine and Tommy.
The definition of safe.
They are so boring. It hurts my eyes to watch them. Tommy was sobbing over Family Day. Like, do you need the 50K that bad? But they have zero drama, so they are safe.
Number 3, Lorenzo and Julia.
I love them. Insane physical chemistry.
Physical chemistry, yes. Long-term potential, 0. I do not think they will last past the baggage claim at Heathrow. He literally doesn't know the pronunciation of her name.
You're breaking my heart. Number 4, Jasmine and Kavan.
They operate as a unit, but they are sneaky.
So sneaky. If they throw Blood Family under the bus for 50K, they will eventually turn on each other when the brand deals dry up.
It's a business partnership. Number 5, Micah and Samraj. They are completely faking it.
Samraj gives me the ick.
He gives everyone the ick. He is holding on to that twerking resentment, and Micah is just trying to convince herself her feelings are real so she doesn't feel foolish.
Which leaves number 6, dead last. The Titanic of Love Island couples, Priya and Aiden.
Negative chemistry, negative trust, 0 potential. Next.
Segment 2, bombshell of the night. What was your biggest surprise?
Kavan telling Aiden the brutal truth to his face. Brothers usually protect the family brand on reality TV.
Yeah.
It was shockingly direct.
It really was. Best move goes to Julia, standing by her comments at the Grafties and refusing to apologize. Stunning in her boots glam, totally unbothered.
Flawless execution of boundaries. Worst decision. Easy. Aiden using the phrase, she pounces on me.
Disgusting.
It's a PR nightmare and emotionally manipulative. The funniest moment has to be Simba whispering hilarious one-liners under his breath while everyone is screaming.
Give that man an Emmy. Segment 3. Green flag, red flag. Biggest green flag.
Let me guess, you're going to say Lorenzo's apology.
I'm defending my boy. He gave a direct, unfiltered apology without caveats. In the toxic landscape of Love Island men, that is a neon green flag.
I will allow it, begrudgingly, because the bar is in hell. Biggest red flag is Aiden stringing Priya along just to safely navigate to the finale. Cowardice wrapped in manipulation.
Who is the most genuine Islander?
Julia, she sees through the BS and calls it out directly. Biggest game player, Jasmine.
100%. Not even a debate.
Playing the supportive bestie to Priya's face, then actively plotting her downfall with Kavan. Machiavellian.
Okay, babes, we are at the end. Segment 4. Tomorrow night predictions. What is your biggest prediction for episode 52?
The delusion breaks. Aiden and Priya officially call it quits. Aiden won't be able to string her along anymore, and Priya's ego won't allow her to stay after being laughed at.
It's done. No CPR can save that relationship. Which couple is most likely to implode next?
Micah and Samraj. That twerking clip is festering. Samraj will pick a fight over a towel on the floor just to distance himself before the finale.
Classic projection of anger. Couple most likely to become exclusive.
Jasmine and Tommy.
Just out of sheer boredom.
Literally. They have nothing else to do. It's just a mandatory box to check on the production itinerary.
Give me one completely chaotic theory that feels possible.
Kavan and Jasmine engineered this entire Priya and Aiden breakup purely to secure the Murphy family vote for themselves. Kavan activated his sleeper agent status, gave Aiden the ego excuse, and Jasmine made sure the girls knew Aiden wasn't serious.
I have literal chills. That is so dark and so plausible. Which brings me to our final provocative thought. Babes, if Kavan and Jasmine are that ruthless, what happens if both Aiden and Kavan make it to the outside world?
Oh my God.
Will the brothers end up sabotaging each other's relationships at a pure competition for brand deals? Or is blood thicker than reality TV romance?
A Murphy family Christmas might actually turn into a psychological bloodbath over the carving of the turkey.
Right. Snark Squad, I need to hear your thoughts. Get in the comments, get in our DMs. Which couple are you rooting for? Who has the biggest green flag? And what is one highly cinematic romantic delusion you will never give up? Because I am still holding out for my rainy London bookstore meet cute.
And I am patiently waiting for my silent first-class upgrade to Milan. Thank you all so much for surviving another deeply chaotic recap with us.
We love you guys. Remind yourselves to subscribe. Leave us a glowing 5-star review because anything less is a red flag. And share the podcast with another Love Island loving babe who desperately needs to unpack Aiden's bagel.
Stay flirty, stay chaotic, and we'll see you on the snark side.